It's raining very heavily here, and so the net is very unstable.
Can you do it without the sharing of the screen? Okay, fine. Let's go. Amita, can we do without the screen? If that's what holding you back.
I can put out the mission statement to require.
Yeah, I think that's better. Let him share. You can go ahead, Dinesh.
Sorry, is Amita starting off or am
I think I'll take a call at that. I can't switch on my video because I'm driving.
Okay, fine. I'll kick off. I can't see Amita around, right?
Can you just share the screen once again?
Yeah, sure. One second. Screen visible?
Yes.
Yes,
So let me just start it off. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to one and all. Today is August 2nd. That's not very important. What is important is Showstoppers is conducting its 68th meeting today. I think that itself deserves a big round of applause. To begin with, let's all hold our right hand on our chest and read. You can just stay muted and repeat the club mission after me. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To begin with, Dinesh, if you can just, we have the ground rules set up for the Toastmaster meetings. Here, whenever a speaker or a role player comes onto the stage, we begin with clapping our hands, and after they complete their role also, we applaud them for their presence and for their efforts by clapping our hands. So because we are online, we might as well use the emojis that are present, or if permitted, you can unmute for a second and clap loud. Fire exits, I think you're in your buildings, your office buildings, or at your residences, you know the fire exit in your house or your company very well. And yes, the noise-making devices, whichever are around, please try to silence them for the next 2 hours. And we don't speak on 3 taboo topics, which is sex, politics, and religion. So refrain from using these 3 topics in any of your speeches. With that, I, as the acting Sergeant at Arms, a very impromptu acting Sergeant at Arms, now call upon our very fresh, very energetic, very, I must say, systematic and organized President, Toastmaster Dinesh, onto the stage. Toastmaster Dinesh, the stage is yours.
Thank you, DT and Anita. What an introduction. A lot of expectations to match up to. Thank you, one and everybody. Welcome to the Showstoppers meeting. This is the 68th meeting, and I'd like to begin off for the benefit for everyone to know what Toastmasters is. Before we do that, I just want to welcome some of the guests that we have on board and have them do a quick round of introductions. So, Mr. Teja, welcome to Showstoppers. So nice to have you on board. Could you please take a few seconds to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right. So thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Teja. I'm working as a Deputy General Manager for a leading hospital in Dubai. So I'm very, very excited today, especially, to see you, all of you online right now. And I wanted to learn a lot from each one of you, of course, with a few good sharings from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Teja. I think you're in the right forum if you come to learn some slides. And as Showstoppers, we always welcome people and encourage them to be able to be good at things that they want to be. So thank you so much. Let me introduce the lady who's going to be the general evaluator for today. Surya, I don't know, think you already need an introduction, and I'll introduce you before your G role. I'm sorry. We will come back to Surya, I think. Sorry, I seem to be having some internet issues. Did I break off some in between?
I think so. I couldn't hear what you said.
All right.
Except for my name.
Okay. I was going to say I'll introduce Surya later as a GE, but you're a lady who's very well known within the Toastmasters Club, but for the benefit of others, could you just please introduce yourself?
Okay, good evening, everybody, all Toastmasters and guests. I am a Toastmaster from the past 3 years, a member of a few clubs, and a president of Pioneer Speech Weavers Club, which is in your area itself. And I'm happy to be with you all today. As your general evaluator, I have quite some friends here. I'm very happy and looking forward to a nice meeting from you all. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya, and thank you for taking on the role. We have Rajeshri with us, Toastmaster Rajeshri. Welcome to Showstoppers. Could you take a few minutes to unmute yourself and give us an introduction? Okay, I think Toastmaster Rajeshri is unable to join in. We'll let her in once she can come on board. Right. Just for my comfort, could someone confirm if I'm audible? Because I seem to have internet issues as well right now.
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you very much. So I'll just proceed with a quick introduction of why we're here and what Toastmasters is. So for the benefit of our new members and guests, Toastmasters International is a nonprofit educational organization, and it empowers people to be better communicators and leaders, right? I've always maintained Toastmasters is a wonderful club to be associated with. I hear about people wanting to be on LinkedIn, Facebook, but this club offers you 300,000 members with around 15,800 clubs around the world. And once I joined Toastmasters, I realized that one could attend any meeting which is scheduled, and they're always welcome. So Toastmasters is a wonderful platform to network and meet people. It focused on building learning communications and leadership skills. Communications here, whereby you take on the roles to be a speaker and evaluated and improved through your pathways. And in terms of leadership, the ability to manage things, the ability to be part of projects or the part of the committees that are created or the leadership teams that are created. So it helps in both formats. Toastmasters was founded by Dr. Ralph Smetley in 1924. So we're almost going to be completing 100 years in a couple of years' time. I just want to take a quick thing for our guests. The beauty of Toastmasters is that it's not something that, but I had initially the thing of, oh, I have to go there and I have to come up with speeches and everything else. It's a proper educational path. It provides you an opportunity to choose what you want to be good at. It has training materials through an application called Pathway. It's accessible online. And the good thing is, not only does it help people to develop and become better speakers and get feedback, it also develops skills that can be utilized in multiple areas, work, home, everywhere else. So they're very much a real world transferable skills. In terms of Toastmasters, the focus is always on the members, which is you. It is all about developing the members and helping them move forward. The member is supported by the club and the club members, such as Showstoppers and multiple others. And when you have multiple clubs in a thing, you create an area, and multiple areas create a division. Division creates a district. District creates a region, and it goes all the way to Toastmasters. So a single member, although being at the top of the pyramid, is supported by loads of people from the club level all the way to the Toastmasters leadership level, which gives you the platform to build yourself on. I want to take a quick thing to introduce. I think we belong in Division P, and Midat is our Division P director, followed by supported by the area director that looks after Showstoppers, which is Toastmaster Devendra, and obviously our advisor and founder, Toastmasters, Anita Naidu. Everyone knows her. I was asked a couple of times as to what does Showstoppers stand for. So while we develop our vision statement, what I wanted to highlight to our guest is Showstoppers is known for the value system that we bring on board, which is the fact that it's a matter of area of trust, respect. It's not where people are judged. It's where people are, there's honesty, there's respect for members. And the goal is to be able to help people who want to develop to be able to develop, provide the passion, provide the creativity. So this is the value tree that we have. And so with that, I would like to start introducing us to the theme for today. Genesis, what a wonderful theme. Like they say, every ending has a new beginning. And for that, we have our Toastmasters of the day. An engineer by profession, a sales manager by profession, an avid sports player, love Toastmaster, Alvin. He's a person who never says die. So with that, he has always believed in the fact that if there's an ending, you can always have a beginning. It's your attitude towards it. Let me welcome Toastmasters Alvin. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Good. So I'd like to welcome all of you to this meeting today. It's our 68th meeting. I have come today with the thought of having this as a theme because of a personal experience, and I would like to run you through this experience of mine and come about on how I arrived on this theme. Okay, so I was asked to work on a theme. I think I waited a while, and I was not able to really put together something. I got a few reminders, and I was not really able to put together a proper theme. Uh, Something coming to my mind. But on 31st August, I was on way to a place, and I had received a picture from a friend of mine. And that picture was a friend of, whom I call a friend, was my manager then. It is a picture of my manager and me on dinner on 31st of July 2018. And the picture brought back a lot of memories to me. That picture, when I looked of both of us, brought back tremendous amount of memories to me. That was the end of our Q3 quarter in our business. I had moved out from one of the MNCs to another. And this was a quarter I was actually handing over, taking over business completely. I was going to run the P&L for that particular line of business. And so I took it over completely. And that was a quarter. It was extremely difficult. And I actually failed. I failed to the extent that I was told that probably I would not be able to manage a business as big as that. I was told probably I'm not set up to run a P&L as big as that. And probably I do not know how to manage it, right? So for a person like me, who has two things in life which is important, which is one is my family and the other one's my career, to be told that you're not good enough just broke me, right? And those days were difficult. That particular day was difficult, and the time to follow was extremely difficult. I was broken to an extent that I could not even think of how to go about managing things, right? So for me, when I came about with this theme, it's got a lot of emotion behind it, but also a lot of learnings for me. And that's the learnings I wanted to share with all of you. One is life can change in no time. I was from being extremely successful in one organization to move to another, and in one quarter's time to be no one and to be told probably you don't know how to run your business is something that just hit me hard. So one which I learned there is to be extremely humble, because life for me changed in that one quarter, right? And there was no turning back. To be broken is extremely difficult, right? So one is the learning of being humble is something that stayed with me ever since. The next thing is everyone can say whatever they want to, but you are what you say you are. So that learning over there, from there, what I did was I just put my head down from the quarter after and started off from the basics. To think that I know it all and to run it all was something I left aside. I knew I had failed, and I knew I had to start back. And for this, I just cut off what was being told around me, but I put my head down and got back to basics and started working on the basics. And that set me on a different path, right? From the next quarter on, I was supposed to take additional regions, everything. It was all taken away. So once you're branded bad, to get back to being good, it took a year for me. So after a year, I got back everything in terms of additional regions, being the person to manage everything. But for me, the message over here is this: every end has a new beginning. And the new beginning is what each one takes and does. This is my own personal experience. I was broken, I failed, I was broken. I didn't know how to do. I didn't know what to do. But for you to stay strong, for you to come back, and for you to learn that life can change in no time is something that I leave as a message with all of you. So which is why I took the theme Genesis, because every end has a new beginning. Thank you. I think now what I do is I will hand it over to the word master of the day, TM Roshni.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alvin. Good evening, everyone. I'm your word master of the day and also your grammarian today. Can I share the screen? So I will be just sharing.
Yes, dear. Yes, go ahead.
So the word of today is finicky. It's pronounced as fi-ni-ki. So it's called finicky. So the origin or the genesis of this word is Dutch. The form finicky is an adjective, but its noun form is finickiness. What do you mean by finicky? So a person who's finicky is extremely or excessively particular or meticulous in taste and standards. He requires so much care, precision, or attentive effort. He gives too much attention to small details, and he's pretty hard to please. The synonyms of this word, there can be choosy, demanding, fussy, particular, picky. The antonyms for this word are unfastidious, unfussy, undemanding. The near antonyms for this word, which are not the exact antonyms for the word finicky, are lenient, flexible. Some of your example sentences. So as a grammarian today, I will be finicky about your grammar. He's terribly finicky about his food. In the movie Devil Wears Prada, Miranda Priestley was finicky about high fashion. So now I call upon few of you and can use it. Let's see how you can use this word in a sentence.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Yes,
Thank you, Wordmaster. Being finicky can lead to high production of cortisol in your body.
yes, true. That's a good use of smart, Anita. Any other volunteers?
I think Miss Sridevi has one. She has a word.
Yes, Toastmasters.
Could you go back to meaning once more?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very finicky about my dresses. The costume I choose. Thank you so
That's
much.
a good. Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Sridevi. So I call upon anyone, any other volunteers?
Again, Miss Toastmaster Roshni, just you have the floor. Just pick and choose anyone. It's fine.
Okay, so I'll call upon one of our guests, Toastmaster Teja.
Let's go.
I'm finicky about what I speak sometimes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. That's good use. Yeah, thank you. Call upon Toastmaster Surya or David raised his hand.
No problem. I'll try that.
Yes.
Okay, as a mother, I get crazy when my daughter has a finicky at character when she eats food.
That's probably all moms face that. Thank you, Toastmaster Surya. Anyone else? Okay, Toastmaster Dipansh.
Yeah. So news reporters are finicky when they give the weather reports out.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Toastmaster Dipansh. Do I still have time to call?
Dinesh has raised his hand. Toastmaster.
Yes, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Well, I was told that finicky people are very difficult to work with, but experience has shown me sometimes for projects, you need the finite thinking which some finicky people have. So they are going to be more successful.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
I think we're good.
Yeah, thank you everyone. So I hope you all be using this word today. You can either use if you're not comfortable with using the word finicky, you can even try to use the synonyms. So thank you. I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Alan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshni. It was a great word for everyone to go through. Thank you for that. Next, we move on to our project speeches. So our first speech is from Toastmaster Sridevi. So I call upon the evaluator, Toastmaster Kimji, to read the project objectives.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Madam Toastmaster Sridevi is following the pathways presentation mastery, and she is on her level 2 project 3 speech. The purpose of her speech is for her to share some aspects of her previous experience as a protege. This member has had an understanding of Toastmasters mentoring, and in her speech, there will be experiences of her being a protege at some time in her life. She needs to discuss any aspect of her experience as a protege, and the speech should not be a report or a content on introduction to Toastmasters mentoring project. Her speech will be between 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm looking forward to hearing from her. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Sridevi, a hand to hold, a friend to listen. A hand to hold, a friend to listen. Toastmaster Sridevi, over to you.
Having such a line of communication is something special. Wondering who said that? Well, let me take you through a story. In 1995, Jeremy Hansen, a first-year student at the Military College of Canada, meets his mentor and his hero, Chris Hadfield. You must be familiar by the name Chris Hadfield by the Space Oddity video he created at zero gravity. So Hansen requests Hadfield for his email ID, and the astronaut gives it on the spot. Later, Hansen contacts him to ask what he should major in university. The astronaut replied, "Follow your passion." Finally, when Jeremy Hansen himself becomes an astronaut, Chris Hadfield mentored him and guided him. This kind of strong mentor-mentee bond is very rare, but research shows it is a major key to success. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guest. How many of you are mentors? Can I have a raise of hands, please? I see a few. Well, each one of us at some point of life, when we have a child, when we have a sibling, or when you join a job, transform into a mentor. Now, let me have a raise of hands. How many of you want to hear why mentoring is important? I see few hands. Thank you so much. How many of you would like to hear a personal story? I see few more hands. Thank you so much. Now, finally, how many of you would like to hear how to be a good mentor? I see few more hands. Thank you so much. Lucky for you today, I'm going to speak all three of them. First of all, why is mentoring so important? When you have a mentor to guide you, to walk along with you, it indeed benefits you much more than a person who doesn't. And when it comes to a voluntary organization like Toastmasters, a mentor is an experienced member who has walked the journey and hence can guide you with some of the things you might need help with. Unlike a coach who focuses on short-term goals, a mentor is focusing on multiple and long-term goals. Now coming to the personal story, let me take you through my journey of Toastmasters. When I joined the Toastmasters, I was a homemaker, a stay-at-home mom, and a person who hardly devoted any time for herself. I came to know of Showstoppers from one of my friends. One day, I get a call from DTM Anita. Hi, this is Anita. She inquired my whereabouts, my passions, and my aspirations. Talking for a while, she suggested, nominate yourself as a club secretary. And I was like, what? Do you think I fit the role? She assured, trust me, it is the best. It is said by John C. Maxwell, one of the greatest qualities of a mentor is his ability to see what others cannot see and help them navigate a course to their destination. This quote rightly describes my mentor, my guru, DTM Anita, because she envisioned the leader in me. I attended the court training, started taking minutes. When I wrote my icebreaker script and sent it over to my mentor, she said, interesting writer, add on few more details like about your parents, your spouse, your siblings. I gave my icebreaker speech. With each speech, our bond got stronger. My mentor always said, let's do the word master role. Let's do the speech and let's do the debate. When your mentor says, let's do, instead of you do it, you do that, it instills a lot of strength and confidence in the mentee. I went on to attend the club contest. My mentor stood very strong with me. She guided me. And I won the first position in area level humorous speech contest. I called her up and burst out crying with joy because it was a milestone for me as a homemaker. Though I didn't make it to the division level, my mentor's guidance and encouragement always stood by me. In my journey of Toastmasters, I was also supported by our immediate past president, Toastmaster Amita. Being the president and club secretary, our bond is much more than friends. We still are, aren't we, Amita? Well, each of my mornings starts with, good morning, Amita. What shall we do today? Shall we put the role players list on the club group? And she too took the liberty of saying, Sri, your speech was so monotonous today. You should work on your vocal variety. I have approached all my fellow members, Tina, David, Seema, even Kimji sir, at some point or the other. So you all are my mentors. Now, being the VP of the club, when I look back, my heart fills with pride to see my journey of Toastmasters. Now, finally, how to be a good mentor. Now that I am a mentor myself, I am trying to mirror a few of the qualities of my guru, DTM Anita. I and my protege, Toastmaster Kazi, share a respectful and supportive bond. We discuss new ideas, varying perspectives. We also understand each other's mode of communication. We sometimes catch up with Zoom calls or sometimes with voice notes. Now, being a mentor, I have gained a lot of experience with one-on-one communication, both with my mentor, DTM Anita, and with my protege, Toastmaster Kasi. and have gained a lot of insight into what others think. So friends, go ahead, take up mentoring in your journey of Toastmasters. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
We have an issue here. I think the timer has gone out. I will be doing the timing from here on.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Thank you, Toastmaster Sridevi. We'll go on to our next speaker of the day. We have Toastmaster Teja, and the evaluator for Toastmaster Teja is Toastmaster David. So, David, over to you to read out the objectives.
All right, then. Welcome everyone to another evaluation segment by Toastmaster David, which is, yours truly. So, icebreaker speech. I don't think I've heard this in a long time. I'm super excited for that. Like literally super duper excited. And Mr. Toastmaster Teja, welcome on board to give your first icebreaker speech, your first speech in Toastmasters. Now, this is level 1 speech, and the purpose of the speech is for the member to learn this is Toast icebreaker. Yeah. The purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Pretty normal, pretty satisfied. And the speech length is 5 to 7. Correct? Is that correct, Miss Anita? 5 to 7? 5 to 7, right?
4 to 6.
Or is it 4 to 6? Am I stuck? Mr. Alva?
Okay. Toastmaster Teja. I'm sorry, Anita, you're saying something?
Yeah. I hope the timing.
Is it 4 to 6?
It is 4 to 6 minutes.
4 to 6, right? So, Toastmaster Teja, your speech is 4 to 6. And the purpose, like I did mention, is to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Wish you all the best. Over to you, Toastmaster Alva.
Toastmaster Teja, how did you come into this world? Toastmaster Teja, over to you.
Right. So, hello everyone. Today I have been asked to talk about how you came to in this world. So ever since I got this topic, I was scratching my head, wondering how and why I came to this world. I'm sure most of you don't want to hear how biologically I came into this world. But so having said, I'm Teja, 35 years old, married with 2 beautiful daughters. So I was born in small town in Andhra Pradesh state in India for amazing parents. So when it comes to my parents, especially if I wanted to talk about my father, he was a doctor, most inspiring individual whom I come across in my life. Because of the 2 reasons, definitely as a father, he taken care of us. And also as a doctor, the way he actually showcased his empathetic way of life towards the community without any commercial obligation, the way he was treating patients, magically he was curing their illness. So that is something which touched me from the beginning of my life. So that is the reason I was mentioning is actually role model in my life, where I understood the importance of empathy in life. So coming to of course, when I talk about my father, again, very early age, I lost him because of his, during health issues and all. But fortunately, and also the kind of, support given my mom from the childhood. So without any limitations, she actually given me a lot of support, because of which, I'm here today. So, I mean, I have never been to one place in terms of learning, in terms of studying. So the destiny for me, like I was always on go. So I never studied in one particular place. So somehow I can say it's an opportunity, because when you move different place, when you meet a lot of different people, you get to learn different things. So it's not just about studies, it's about the way we lend the society. That is most important thing in life, what I feel, because studies are always gives you definitely knowledge and the theoretical aspect. But in life, if you get to know more people, if you learn from people, probably that makes you stand out of all. That's what I believe. So again, when I started my studies, and definitely I was always confused towards my ambition in life. So to give you some interesting point, during my education, high school level, what happened is, like, I wanted to become a doctor. But again, that doctor, I want to become a doctor because of my two elder sisters got married back to back. So financially, I was not in a position to go for medicine, and definitely I decided to do graduation. So when I started my graduation, I had an ambition to become police officer. But again, by the time I reached graduation, third year of graduation, I shifted back to do MBA. So once what I learned out of my graduation or my other studies, so maybe I need to look for something what I am good in, and what is actually makes me happy. So over a period of time, I realized, I think, fortunately, I realized I'm a people's person. That's what I realized. Probably, doing MBA will definitely help me. And also throughout my studies, what I also understood, I can lead people. So without any hesitation, and also that is something is actually, given me confidence to lead any organization or any department throughout my career. So again, as I mentioned, I never studied in one particular place. Similar way, my destiny told me to work in different part of the world. When it comes to my initial career, I worked in whole South India, North India. Somehow, I got an opportunity to learn from different people and different cultures and region. So finally, I took one more step ahead, and now I'm in Dubai since 2014. So for me and also many of you, I'm sure Dubai is a dream place. For me, it is not only dream place. I like Dubai because of one more reason. Because my younger daughter born here, where I'm working, I am very emotionally connected. So I can talk. If I talk about my daughter, she is my stress buster. So whole day we do a lot of things, morning to evening we go through a lot. I help my team both. If I talk little bit more about my professional life, I'm actually working as a manager in a hospital where I need to support my team on ground, both clinical, non-clinical. They come with different problems. My job is to fix their problem. So as a solution master, what I wanted to tell, so we go through a lot of stress. Being a healthcare professional, we see a lot of up and downs because we deal with patients. So I'm proud to say that I learned a lot from the studies. As I mentioned, I learned a lot from my career. So ultimately, what makes us stand out is the empathy what we carry, the attitude what we pass it to our teams and our people. So with this, I wanted to say that overall I'm a satisfied individual for the God, the way the God has shown me the path. And also, if I talk about a little bit on my job, what I'm happy all the time. And in finally, to conclude, my ambition to reach to the level where I'm comfortable, and to set up a non-profitable healthcare organization for the needy people. That's my ultimate goal. I hope, I think with this first icebreaker, I'm sorry, speech, I think I could able to convey the best possible way what I can. Thank you. I would like to stay connected with all of you to learn more. Thank you.
Toastmaster Teja, thank you.
Alvin, we all need to give a standing ovation as he is the icebreaker speaker today. It's a big milestone. Over to you, Alvin.
So we're going on to our next speaker for the day. Our next speaker for the day is Toastmaster Dipansh, and Toastmaster Dipansh's evaluator is Toastmaster Rajeshwari. And call upon Toastmaster Rajeshwari to read out the speech objectives.
Sure. Thank you so much, Alvin. Good evening, Toastmasters. Toastmaster Dipansh Mathur is delivering his level 2 project 1 innovative planning path. What's your communication style? The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his primary style. The main purpose of this page is for the member to share the impact of his style on others. The timing 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Dipanshu Mathur. Over to you, dear Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Just a second, Dipanshu.
You have to wait.
Just a second. So, thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Dipansh, what's your communication style? What's your communication style, Toastmaster Dipansh? Over to you.
Good evening, Toastmasters. The biggest illusion of the century is that communication has taken place. But ever wonder how each one of us perceive it? We as human beings engage in communication on almost every day. It's an essential activity. You either build an empire, innovate, and build prosperous relationships, or you sync existing work, deals, and also get into conflicts with your subordinates. In life, there are choices, and the result depends on how you take actions and how you communicate. Today, we're going to be talking about the latter, that is communication. Some of the benefits of effective communication include quicker and clearer decision-making process. Now, I cannot emphasize enough on the importance of clarity and having a sense of clarity, be it in personal or in professional life. Effective communication also increases the moral and the trust amongst the subordinates, both at work and at personal setting again. The colleagues will trust you more, and also there will be a good rapport. Thirdly, effective communication enhances the utilization of resources. For example, if you effectively communicate with your subordinates and your juniors, they would take less time to complete a particular task, which will utilize the resource in a more better way. Now let's understand the basics of communication through a model that Toastmaster teaches us. The name of the model is DIAS, D-I-A-S. There are 4 different types of communications, which are as follows. Direct style. A direct style of communication is a straightforward, clear, concise, and unfiltered communication method. There are no hidden agendas and there are no hidden messages. People who usually communicate with this style do get the requirements executed at the earliest. For instance, at work, your supervisor may tell you a few things, such as you must come to work on time, or he might say that you need to complete this particular assignment by the end of the day. At personal settings, your parents might tell you to complete your homework when you were small. I personally found this communication very effective when I was in my university, especially in my undergrad. I used to tell my counterparts to complete their parts of the group assignment at the earliest, and it helped. Now, moving on to the next kind of communication style, that is analytical style. This method of communication prioritizes on logic and also makes you look a little finicky, wherein an individual focuses on data and facts rather than any kind of emotive language. The advantages of being an analytical speaker or communicator is that you're more careful with your words and will research and say something which is to the point and factual, so there will be less errors. Again, it is very helpful at professional settings because at professional settings, when you use your analytical mind, then you can give a better impact to your customers as well as to the managers. For example, where you're explaining how you've achieved sales targets, or where you're pursuing your customers by giving them facts and data. In a personal setting, for example, my mother uses her analytical method of speaking, wherein she would say, Dipansh, the temperature in UK is -4 degrees Celsius. You better pack warm clothes before you travel. Someone who utilizes initiating style of communication is sociable, enthusiastic, energetic, spontaneous, and fun-loving. Someone with this style often considers to be generous, and they're perceived to talk more than listen. They come across as very self-assured, innovative, persuasive. For example, when my friends, for example, the same friends who I used to argue with to get the assignments done, when there was a different setting after the assignments and they used to ask me to go out with them for dinner or go out with them, I used to be like, yeah, sure, why not? And lastly, let's talk about the supportive style of communication. Supportive style of communication is a very calm, approachable, and steady and sincere and gentle method. This method of communication is used with a lot of patience. And the people who speak in this method are very relaxed and stress-free. They thrive on close relationships with their subordinates, and they do not conflict with others. They treat each and everyone very carefully and nicely. For example, my Arabic teacher in the high school, she used to be very supportive and helpful just prior to the KHD inspection, wherein she would say that we should by heart everything that she's taught us and be confident when we speak in Arabic in the class. I believe that in every instance of life, we have different objectives and particulars and goals. We need to communicate in the right way, in the right place to get the best output. I personally feel that I need to work on being more supportive in terms of communication style. I personally feel that others might need some other way, some other method that they need to improve, or any other style to improve the communication out of the four. So guys, make your communication more effective in the process and exchange ideas, thoughts, and opinions and knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipansh. We have ended with project speeches. I call upon a timer, Toastmaster Anita, who has taken over. Oh, right. So if you could read out the timer's report over here.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't have Toastmaster Sridevi's timing with me. So we need to give her the benefit of doubt, I think, because it was the time was, yeah, President. Okay. And yes, we have Toastmaster Teja, who stopped on 6.31. So shall we go ahead and give him the...
I would say yes.
Fine, great. We have Dipansh on 6.46. Okay, so 6 minutes, 46 seconds, which is fair enough.
Okay.
So I'll release the polls shortly.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thanks. So I think we'd start off with the table topics while we release the polls. So today we do not have Toastmaster Utkarsha with us. So today's table topics will be done by Toastmaster Dinesh. So Toastmaster Dinesh, over to you.
Mr. Dinesh, you're muted.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Alvin. Table topics. This is what many consider to be the interesting component, one of the interesting components of Toastmasters. This is where people are asked random questions and it encourages impromptu speaking. All right. The timings for these sort of program is 1 minute is where you see the green signal, 1 minute 30 seconds when you see the amber, and 2 minutes where you see the red sign. And thereafter, you're being given 30 seconds as grace period. The format is very simple. People can volunteer, or we will pick people. To make it easier, we'll start off with some members and then move on to the guest to give them the chance. Piece of advice, be finicky or not, but just enjoy yourself and try and have fun, all right? So let's start off with, do we have any volunteers from members right now? Okay, the power is vested in me. I shall choose Toastmaster Kimji. We haven't heard you speak for a long time. Toastmaster Kimji, are you on?
I'm ready.
Toastmaster Kimji, what is the difference between living and existing? What is the difference between living and just existing? Toastmaster Kimji.
A very interesting topic to talk about is living and existing. There was a time in my life when I started believing that life was getting mundane and very boring. That was the time when I was actually in school in the latter half of the school, that is the high school level, class 9. This year was the one in which I felt that there was no excitement in my life. I found it to really feel as if I was curbed and the teachers were being very finicky about what I was doing. My parents were being very finicky about what I was doing and how I was coping up with the studies. I wanted entertainment in my life. Sure enough, I entertained myself. And while my mother was away, they say when the cat is away, the mice are at play. That's exactly what happened to me. And I went on becoming an extrovert of a very different nature. I went around meeting people, enjoying myself, and I did not focus anything on the studies. Come the midterm exam, and guess what? It reflected in my scores. Big fat F. I had failed in 4 out of the 7 subjects. And in the other 3, I had just barely passed. It became very easy for my mother. She said, good. Your father has repeated a class. I have repeated a class. So what's wrong if you repeat a class? That's when a different form of excitement entered into my life. And I said, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm not going to fail that year. And I put in those best efforts to pass, not only with passing marks to achieve the final grades, but I even topped in 2 out of the 7 subjects in the finals. So believe me, Toastmasters, there is nothing that you can find boring or exciting. It is only your introspection which reflects on your external output. So be strong, and you can always enjoy as well as have a different style. Over to you, table topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kimji. Wonderful piece of advice. All right, now we move on to the next speaker. Do we have any volunteers as yet? Toastmaster David. Oh, I need to find you an interesting one. Okay. Toastmaster David, once you pass away, what is that one thing that you would like people to remember you by? Your legacy, what would your legacy be? So once you pass away, what is that one thing that you would like people to remember you by? Toastmaster David.
Well, we're hitting deep questions already, so that's lovely. That's why I wanted to participate in this. What would my legacy look like? What would be the one thing that people would want to remember me by? I would say I would want them to remember that me as an individual, anyone who came into my life left better. I would want to be remembered as that person. I would not want to be remembered as the funniest guy or the most energetic, dynamic, charismatic, richest, or wealthiest, I would say. But I would want to be remembered as someone who made a difference in everyone's life, whoever they've encountered me. Maybe, definitely, I pray to God it's in a positive manner, because I feel where I've reached so far is because of people, and because of a quote that I've said, always leave people better than when you found them. That's a quote I always want to live by, because who are we without people? And if my legacy says that I've made someone's life a bit better, even for a day, come on, we're all human. We don't meet everyone 365 days. But at least I've left an impact on their life for the better, not in a negative way. Fingers crossed, touching all the wood in my house, that is not in a negative manner. But I do wish to leave the legacy behind of someone who made other people's lives better. Over to you, Table Topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. Yes, that's wonderful to have making things better for people that you come across. Wonderful motto to live by. Could I, Toastmaster Roshni, I can see you raised your hand, so let's give you your questions. Toastmaster Roshni. What would you regret not doing or being or having in your life? What would you regret not doing or not being or not having in your life? Toastmaster Roshni.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. So I think I would regret if I don't do the things I wish to do, or the things which I would like to improve on myself. Like I would regret if now I'm a little afraid of public speaking. Not little, I'm very afraid of public speaking, or even speaking to people in general. So I would have regretted if I didn't improve on my communication skills. Like, instead of telling that no, this is not my cup of tea, I would I'm not a speaker, I cannot speak, this is just who I am. I would regret that. So if I didn't take up the step to improve it, I would regret it. this is one of the case, and in some things, usually if I have not in the in places where I want to overcome my fear, those are the things where if I wouldn't overcome it, that's when I'll regret it. Be it anything. So that's me. That's what I would regret in. Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshni. It's always important to do things that you don't regret in life, and so thank you so much. Could I call on Toastmaster Teja? Would you like to give it a shot? Great. Toastmaster Teja, what is the worst advice that you've ever received? What is the worst advice that you've ever received? Mr. Teja.
Right. So to talk about the worst advice I received, this part of the world particularly, when we all work in a kind of, organizations, especially when you're working at a management level, you get to meet different people, different sort of a mindset people, especially who is not very straightforward. For example, to get the business out, so people do advise wrong things in terms of taking some cuts and all. That is something very common, unfortunately, in this part of the world. So probably, this is something, it may be shortcut in life to grow fast, but this is something may not make you comfortable. You may not be happy, and ultimately this leads to some sort of dissatisfaction in your existence in life. So I think this is one of the thing which I have personally come across. So especially when you are working with a big capacity of organization, you get to meet people. So ultimately your characteristics in life has to, the values what your parents taught you or taken through. So that is something we should always maintain, and the ethics of your life and the kind of a culture of the management studies what I learned. So probably this is something we should not carry out because of making some money. So I think the taking cuts is something, according to me, is something very wrong, and I never get into it. So this is something many approached, but I never encourage myself. And in fact, if I get a feel of such, I take a 2 step back and I'll think about it, so that I don't get into it. So, and also I believe in karma theory. So whatever good stuff we do, it comes back to us. Similar way, I would like to stick to the point, the good stuff you have follow, you get the best out of it, not the wrong things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teja. Always good to stand by moral grounds. Let's ask Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Would you like to take the next question? Okay, Toastmaster Rajeshwari.
Yes.
Just give me 1 second. What is something, if you go back in time, what is the one piece of advice that you give to your younger self to be much different now? If you could go back in time, what is that piece of advice that you give to your younger self so that you turn out different now? Toastmaster Rajeshwari.
Thank you, Tabletop Master. What advice I like to give to my younger self? Okay, this is okay. I will take this way now. What advice I give to my children as an youngsters here? Basically, this world is actually it's full of competition, and most of y'all will agree for this. So, what advice I like to give is be yourself and focus on what you're doing, and have that courage to feel that you are good enough to take up that whatever passion you have in yourself, and be true to yourself, and hard work surely plays a role for you. And with this, I advise, and I mean, I wished I I would have advised myself as well when I was at my younger age as well. And I'm glad that I am able to justify your David topic for today. Thank you so much, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Raj. Time for one more question.
Yeah, the last one. This is.
Okay, fine. Let's call on our Toastmaster Surya as our guest. I would like. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, it's a Murphy's Law. Every time I call on Toastmaster Surya, my internet goes a bit wonky. Okay, I switched off my camera. All right. Okay, Toastmaster Surya, I've always known you as a positive person and a smiley person. So I have a question for you. Toastmaster Surya, do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Toastmaster Surya.
Crying is a form of strength, but the strength you derive is from your own tears. I don't see it as a sign of weakness in anybody. You are expressing your deep feelings that are coming from inside. I've known people who cry even when they're very, very happy. There are some people who just cannot control their emotions, who just feel that, letting out the tears makes you happier. I have seen people laughing, and then they start, shedding tears. I've seen the worst side of tears also, because I faced all these kind of things in my life. When I missed my parents, when they passed away, I really shed tears. But one thing I learned from shedding tears is that it makes your heart much lighter. Rather than keeping your emotions, whether it is happiness or your grief, if you keep it to yourself, I think that is more stifling. And so when you release those tears, when you cry in whichever form you can, I think it makes you stronger after that. And once you wipe away your tears, that crying makes you a stronger and a better person, and a more mature person also in many ways. So I think crying is both a symbol of strength and a lot of honesty and truthfulness that, that makes your character come out much stronger and better after each session. So I think that's it. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya. I do agree, crying is strength. I'm sorry, I do keep switching my video off because my internet is a bit wonky. So DTM, I think we're done with the table topics. So thank you everyone who participated. Interesting replies. I would like the timer to just tell me as if everyone's within their time limits so that we could start the poll.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. I have the timer report here. We have Toastmaster Kimji at 2.26, Toastmaster David at 1.41, Toastmaster Roshni at 1.11, Teja at 2.14, Toastmaster Rajeshwari at 1.15, and Toastmaster Surya at 1.23, which means all of them are qualified.
Thank you very much. Could we start the polls? And while the polls come
that
up,
will take a little time because I need to enter the names.
No, I do understand. I mean, yeah, so we'll wait for the polls to come up. Till then, I pass it back to our Never Say Die Toastmaster of the day, Alvin. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. And next, while we wait for the polls, I think we'll start getting into the evaluation section, the segment. In terms of how we're going to go about on the evaluation is we're going to call upon each evaluators to come back and give the evaluation for for each of their respective Toastmasters whom they're evaluating for today. So let me start by calling upon Toastmaster Kimji to who's been someone who's been with us for quite a while. He's held quite a few positions across. In Toastmasters, the highest position held, as I know, is the area director. Toastmaster Kimji is a businessman for the last 36 years, and his hobbies include sports, music, and quizzing. What's interesting is something which I learned today is he's an ex-Oman cricket board member as well. So that's brilliant. And that's something which I learned newly today. So Toastmaster Kinji, I hand it over to you for the evaluation of Toastmaster Sridevi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alvin, the Toastmaster of the day. I personally feel that there has been a great improvement in the way Madam Toastmaster Sridevi has been giving her speeches. And that has reflected in the manner in which she has quoted two wonderful quotes, very apt at the beginning of the speech and during the contents of the speech as well. Kudos to you on those lovely quotes, which were really apt and to the point. The other thing that I liked about your speech was the interactive, humorous manner in which you engaged with the audience and you kept them alert, something which is a gift for a very good speaker, to keep the audience in the speech combined together. Your personal story, I think, is the beauty of your speech. How you mentioned the success in which you graduated from a nervous secretary of the club under your mentor to becoming a vice president education today. Fantastic. I also like the manner in which you displayed your podium finish status in the humorous speech contest. Your motivating message at the end of the speech as to why one needs to become a mentor comes from the heart of one who has had two lovely mentors. You mentioned both their names and also other people who supported you, and you have encouraged us to become mentors as well. In every aspect of the speech giving, I saw that you were covering all the necessary features that was required as far as the purpose of the speech was concerned. Now comes the time when I have to be a little finicky. And why not? Because sometimes you need to graduate, and the graduation will happen in two beautiful ways. One, when you have a challenge which you faced during your mentor-mentee relationship with your mentors as a protege, you did not mention what was those challenging features that you overcame because of the help of your mentor. Your mentor advised you about what to do about the speech, but did you communicate your fears? Did you communicate anything that really changed your life as a Toastmaster? This is something that I would like to have seen. The second thing I saw was that your eye contact with the camera was bent, something which is very similar right now because I have not elevated the camera position. You need to keep your eye contact above so that whenever you speak, it is as if every audience member is watching you. The second part in the speech is the transitions. When you move from the transition of those two mentor and mentee relationship to your own personal message, to your advice, all that required a smooth transition with special pauses. I think your speech has been wonderful, very exciting, and it was actually my Virgan nature of being finicky that really brought about those 2 points. I salute you for that lovely speech, and I wish you all the best for the future. Take care. Over to you, tabletopics. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, sir.
Great. Next, I call upon Toastmaster David, who's going to be the evaluator for Toastmaster Teja. One thing about David is, for someone as young as him, the confidence that he shows, the confidence that he displays is absolutely amazing. It's something that I would want my kids to grow up to be, right? So that's brilliant, David, and I hand it over to you to evaluate Toastmaster Teja.
Morton, I think that literally that made my whole day. Toastmaster Alvin, literally that made my whole day. Wow, I wholeheartedly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now let's get on with the best part of the segment, the evaluation. Please don't worry. Don't worry, Toastmaster Teja. You don't have to run away and be scared. Oh my God, I'm going to criticize your entire speech. No, that's not what we do here at Toastmasters. We just look to improve and congratulate you for taking the leap. Like, that's what, could we just have a round of applause for that? Firstly, like, Toastmaster Teja went and took a leap to share his story with us. Like, that I think is the best thing we can all agree on. And when you jump into an evaluation, you talk about what you did amazing, what you did good. What caught my eye is you have a wonderful way to describe your parents. Like, that is something I really, really do applaud. The first segment of your speech, you got us all over here, all 10 members over here while you were speaking, what your relationship with your parents was like, what your relationship with your father was like, what your mother was like. It showed us how much they mean to you. And as someone whose parents really, really do mean a lot, that just connected us instantly. I felt more interested in learning about you. I wanted to know more about you. What else did you go through? How else did they, like, when they became your role models, what did that do to you? I wanted to know that. So you ticked the most important thing, connecting with the audience. And that was the first step of a successful points. I have something more. And when you move on to the middle part of the speech, like about where you studied in different places, you moved around, and you learned about like how important it is to learn about societies. That gave us a message. So that was good in your speech as well. You gave us a message to think about. What, according to you, is more important? Learning about society. And you talked about how you improve by shifting from place to place. That was interesting. We got to know that you're a very interesting individual that we want to know more about. And moving on, at the end of the speech, you started talking about yourself, your traits, how you're a leader, and how you want to be a people's person, which are all important in today's world, in the corporate field, definitely. And you're well-traveled, you've gone around South India, you've gone around North India, you're a family man, you talked about your daughter, we'd love to hear more about her, and your profession. So you gave us a summary that was amazing. You told us that, you have a lot to talk about. Now, when you talk about what you can improve upon, all right, as an icebreaker, Toastmaster Teja, we wanted to know what makes you you. You talked about your role models, and we wanted to know, as a manager of the hospital, how has that shaped your journey? What are your likes? What do you love doing in your free time? What do you love? Do you like watching a movie? Do you like reading books? What's your favorite actor? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite food? Those are the traits in an icebreaker speech which we would love to know more about you, that we can realize, because your story, that from the glimpse of what we saw, is something amazing, something that we realize, Toastmaster Teja has so much to tell us. We just wanted to know more about you. Like what makes Toastmaster Teja, like what makes you you? Apart from that, the way you spoke was good. I don't know if this is the first time you're doing a speech like that. Your flow was very nice. The only improvement I said, just talk more about you. That's what Toastmasters are for. And the second time you're going to give a speech, try standing up. It does make a difference. So apart from that, wonderful speech. Can't wait to hear from you more. Over to you, Kmod.
Thanks, Toastmaster David. Next, I call upon Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Rajeshwari, is the current president of the Kano Toastmasters, and I call upon her to evaluate the March's project speech for the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajesh.
Thank you. Congratulations, Toastmaster Deepanshu Mathur, for successfully completing your level 2 project 1. Hope I'm audible, right? Yeah. On successfully completing your level 2 project 1, understanding your communication style, amazing. You started off very well, kept explaining the importance of communication in our day-to-day lives, and you mentioned about how communication is building up the trust and good rapport among all the people who are associated with. That's a good job done there. And you used your simple English language in communicating, explaining us all the audience. That was the best part. And you made the audience very clear and crisp about your project on different communication styles that's available on the Toastmasters journey. And what personally I liked about your explanation was the way you used a short and sweet examples for each communication styles, whether it is direct or whether it is analytical, initiative, and supportive. You made it quite clear and understanding. That was well done there. And you were very comfortable in delivering your speech, and you used the word of the day. That was fantastically done there, the highlight of the speech. This actually indicates that you are indeed a versatile speaker as well. The only suggestion what I could give to you at this junction is, especially since it is an online platform, we have to maintain that eye level contact. So you could have placed the camera, at the chest level, so that you could have established a better connection with the audience. And the other point where I noticed was when you're delivering about direct analytical, you could have added a needed pause, after direct explanation. Next, we will go to analytical. So only that needed pause was added on to the project so that it could be well taken by our audience, as from the audience point of view. We could have understand in a much better way. And it could have for sure elevated your speech as well. Overall, well structured speech, well delivered. You were cool and composed. You were comfortable, and you were actually, you are very enthusiastic about explaining different communication style to the audience. That's a very good part on this. You could have added, you could have taken care of these two suggestions what I mentioned. For sure, you'll do your best in your coming speeches, for sure. And all the very best. Over to you, Timothy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Now we'll just go through the timers report. Toastmaster Anita, have everyone?
Yeah, I have Toastmaster Rajeshwari. I'm going from the back side because I just have it here. 2.55, which is fair enough. And Toastmaster David, 3.19. Toastmaster Kimji, 3.16. So all of them are qualified. I'll release the evaluator polls now. Okay. And that will follow the polls for table topics. Yeah.
Okay. We'll, while you're releasing the polls, what I'll do is I'll call upon Toastmaster Roshni to give the grammarian report. So, Toastmaster Roshni, over to you for the grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. So, as the word master, I've seen that a lot of you have used the word finicky today, and the one who's used the most is Toastmaster Kimji. Thank you, Toastmaster Kimji. I'm glad that everyone used the word, understood and used the word appropriately. Coming to the grammar, all of you had a good sentence structures and used good vocabulary. There were a few, well, while talking about the past, there could be, the use of past tense was a little bit, there was a mistake on using the past tense, so they could correct on that. Overall, the use of grammar was good among all the speakers. Thank you. I think some space to Toastmaster Al.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshni. Next, Toastmaster Anita, have we got both the, have you done both table topics evaluation, topics polls, and also for the evaluation? I saw the evaluation. I didn't see for the table topics.
Table topics is pending. I'll just release it now.
Okay. While you're releasing it, I call upon our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Surya, to speak to us. Over to you, Toastmaster Surya.
Good evening, everybody. Indeed, a showstoppers and a real show-stopping kind of a meeting. Thank you so much for making me a part of it. I loved it right from the beginning to the end. And let me start my general evaluation with this. I'm very happy to see that how an emergency situation where a sergeant at arms suddenly jumps to another person, and that person does it with so much ease. No wonder it is our DTM Anita, but still, we must give a big hand of applause to do that. It's such a critical point, and immediately it was done so perfectly. All the slides are posted, and something which could have become technically bad became technically much better. And that was a very good thing to do, and that's a very positive way to start. And it showed that bonding between you all as and the camaraderie in the club, which is very, very good. I feel so. Then I think the poll just came in between. Okay, now let us go on to our president, Toastmaster Dinesh. Indeed, a very, very calm and a very nice way to introduce your guests and bring in the whole thing about, especially if you are a new person, you're a guest to Toastmasters, to explain each nuances along with the slides makes it very much easy and simple to understand. And I really like the slide presentation and him explaining the whole thing. And also taking care of all the emergencies in the middle without any chaos. I think, because again, he became the table topic master and he did that dual role also with ease, which shows that any technical or otherwise problem can be handled well, and you are in good hands with a good president, I'm sure. One more thing is now let us come to our TMOD. Toastmaster Alvin, I think that was a very inspirational thing to say about your own life story and your own experiences, and bring it out with the theme, which is very, very, very nice, and I think everybody could catch up with it, because we all face failures at some point of time in our life. And the way you talked about yourself changing from the down to how you came up, it was very inspiring. It was very, very nice. And I think it was a very positive way, especially in these scenarios, what is happening around the world and in our lives everywhere. We see so many chaos. I think we need something like this, that every end, I like the way you said, every end has a new beginning. Very true, very motivating, and very positive. Thank you so much. I think I would like more light to be thrown on your face, so that we could see your expressions also more, because that was coming straight from the heart and we could feel it. And I wanted to see more of you with a positive smile when you actually said, I won it, I did it. Because we all were winning with you throughout your experience when you were sharing that experience with us. That's all I can say. Then our word master, Toastmaster Roshni, what a sweet smile you have. And that word, I love that word. I think all mothers and all wives will love that word, and they'll all use it for their spouse and their children, because finicky is something we all face in our lives. And I think that word was so well taken. All the people could, relate with it. All of them, I think, used it also very well. And finicky is a very nice term. I like it because we all face it and we all know it. Some of us are and some of us aren't. And we all face that. So it was a very good word to choose. Easy and relatable. And I think everybody used it. That's the biggest highlight. And your dual role as a grammarian also, I liked it because you didn't point out anybody's flaws, as such. You were very generous with your grammarian report. Usually I hear a lot of people, saying that there's only a few past tense problem. That sounds great, you all feel like you're experts after that. So your double role, you did it very, very well. Thank you so much. And and your triple role, I think you even end up speaking with the table topics. That was also a very good experience that you brought in with us and you shared with us, because a lot of introverts try to come into Toastmasters just to open their mouth and, take off their stage fears. That is also very nice and very relatable and very good. Now let me come to our speakers. I think all the three speakers were fabulous. They didn't look at that. Even our Toastmaster Sridevi, let me begin with her. I loved the speech because it was so interactive. Everybody, I'm sure I was raising hands for everything that she was asking. And that's the way, you don't let the audience feel bored. They are interacting and they give your attention when you ask questions. That's a very good way. And you were moving also, you were speaking well, the content and the delivery, everything was well. And I'm very happy about your evaluator, Toastmaster Chaitanya sir. He delivered it so well. The evaluation done was also very nicely done because he broke it and he gave you the best parts and the only points of improvisation which were also delivered very positively and very nicely to me. I like the way he even explained how you could improve it, with your own experience. So that is what matters, So to make it a brilliant piece of speech, a brilliant evaluation also needs that great, it's a bridge. That way you both can grow and learn much more. And it was a very good speech. Our second speaker, Toastmaster Teja. I really liked the speech a lot because it didn't seem like an icebreaker. It was like you're talking to your friend. So I think you have a lot of potential and the introduction was said very well. And I think all fathers adore their daughters. You have that part and your, how you balanced it out, your profession, your family, everything. You spoke out very well, nice icebreaker. Only thing is, I wish I could see more of your hands or, just adjust a little bit of that camera so that we can see your hands and all and feel more, attached to what you're saying. It really comes out very well. And your evaluator, Toastmaster David, he gave a very positive evaluation. I like that evaluation also because the only point which I feel is that you should stand up and say. Stand up and say is like when you, at least, for the contests and all, it is good for you because they expect the half of you to come out and show, with your hands and your body. So it'll help you in your future. This is just your first one. You just stepped into this and I'm sure that you have a very long way to go. And the evaluation was done very nicely, I think very positively. And you got all the positive sides of your speech brilliantly spoken by the evaluator. He did a very good job. And I also agree, you should stand up and speak. That's the only point. Our third speaker, Toastmaster Deepansh, the communication style part. Very good. It didn't sound like a report. It sounded like your own life you're speaking and you spoke very well. Everything was said, but I was waiting for only one part, that is your own communication style. You should just try to bring that out next time whenever you are saying, because your heading was your communication style. So we were waiting for that. And I wish you could have brought that all. And then the camera angles, etc. That is one thing one learns through, through time, through next time experience and all. You'll be able to do it very well. I like the evaluator, Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Rajeshwari, she gave a very positive and a very motivating evaluation about Toastmaster Deepansh. Especially that beginning and the angle, camera angles and the pauses are something which we all should actually take care. We all just end up, saying the speech in the end when you realize that pauses and these camera angles help you a lot, because it helps the other person to understand you, and you can also, break in your speeches and learn it better. So it helps in a lot of ways. The very positive suggestions were given. So I think I have covered everybody. And our brilliant timer and everything, Toastmaster Anita, thank you so much, because everything you do, you're right from your sergeant. I think the sergeant was at ease, and timer again. I could see your cheerful face. I mean, I was missing that, and I'm very happy with the colors. I could see it. And overall, only thing is I missed my Toastmaster Amita, because she had invited me, and because of this, what do you call, devilish technical snags, which I hate actually. I missed watching her in show. That is the only thing. Overall, I loved the entire meeting. I think you all have a lot of potential to grow much higher, and I wish all my best wishes with you and your club, and to all the role players today. Thank you for inviting me here. I think Toastmaster Amita, she had invited me. I'm very grateful to her. And thank you all. Over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Surya. Now, next, we are coming up to the closure. So before we close on, Toastmaster Anita, do you have the results of the polls?
You can hand it over to the president, and the president will declare it.
Sure. Okay. I hand it over to Toastmaster Dinesh to do the declaration of the poll results, and also for the closing and for the feedback.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dave, Toastmaster Alvin. Before I do the certifications and recognitions, I just want to take a few minutes and share the fact that I think what makes a good club are the members and the guests that come into the club. And today was a wonderful experience of the same. Our general evaluator already added to the fact that we had a few hiccups that we went along. So I have to recognize all those people who stepped in at the last second. So I'm going to switch off my camera because of the internet issues again. I want to quickly recognize all our members for being able to take on multiple roles. DTM Anita, thank you for being a Zoom master, being an SAA and a timer. Thank you, David, for changing positions in the last second and becoming an evaluator and giving us your wonderful stuff, right? And thank you to everyone else who have been working in the background, especially our VP and everybody else, just to make sure this meeting went well, all right? So kudos to you all right? Last week I was off the radar, so it just showed that even when one person is not there, how a team comes together, and that's what makes a wonderful club. So I'm very proud of that. The other thing that makes a club meeting wonderful are all the guests and the who come to our meetings. So before I do the award, I just want to quickly recognize those guests and get a bit of feedback from every one of them. I would like to start off with Mr. Teja. Thank you for coming. I hope you had a wonderful time. I would like for you to take a few minutes and share your experience as to how did you feel and what do you think about Showstoppers meeting?
Yeah, first of all, it's amazing. I think it's a new page for me to meet, to learn first, and of course, most importantly, to meet all of you. I mean, each one in this forum, I think, everybody has different way of looking things, and ultimately that is going to help others to learn. So personally, I learned from each one of you. I wanted to really thank all the evaluators, the president, DTM, and the Toastmasters. So, it's such a wonderful opportunity, I feel. I think I'm going to learn a lot. There's no doubt about it. So I'm looking forward for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teja. We're looking forward to you coming on board as well. And I'm definite Toastmasters will help you in the long way. Many clubs are fortunate enough to have guests. I think we're very fortunate to have 2 presidents who have come in today to the Showstoppers meeting. I would like to call on the president for the Kanu Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. If you could give us a few words about your experience here. I can't see her on the thing. Has she left the meeting? Okay, I think unfortunately we have lost a Toastmaster here, I think. Well, I would like to then call upon Toastmaster Surya, Toastmasters, the president for Pioneers. Like she said, she's been in a 3 years journey. She failed to say that she's won multiple awards at area level, club level. But every time I met her, I've always loved her optimistic attitude and the smile on her face. Thank you for bringing that to our meeting as well. And thank you for all your valuable feedback. Could you share your experience? I mean, you already shared your experience, but 1 to 10, 20 seconds to just tell us any areas that you think we could improve in.
Thank you so much, President Dinesh, because for me, Showstoppers is very much close to my heart, because whenever I come here, I meet good friends over here, especially DTM Anita, David, and DTM, our Toastmaster Amita, Sri Devi. All are nice people at heart. And even I think Chaitanya sir is very, very nice. He's like a fatherly figure. And I think you're all blessed to have a person like that to give you that real advice with, ease. And I think it's a very blessed place and very nice place to be. The only thing is I'm hoping to meet you all in physical meetings also, because that is also something which it's another challenge that we all are facing now. And we all will be, now moving slowly to that juncture. And it's a good pleasure meeting you all here. And it's a very good, promising club, great way to go. And you all have great champs already here. And good guidance also. Always, it's a pleasure to come here. I think I've spoken too much, and now it's time for me to just stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, they're never talking about too much, but thank you for saying, yes, I think you're right. Although I've been new to the club and new to the president role, if it wasn't for the senior members like DTM, Anita, Chaitanya sir, and Sri Devi's hard work, and everybody else, David's impromptu taking on roles and making differences in everybody's life that he comes and helps out with. The thing is, having wanting to make a difference and having the attitude to make a difference makes a lot of difference, and David's got that. And also to our Toastmaster of the day today, who had his debut thing, a lot to learn, to say that don't let every ending be an ending, make a beginning, and it's the attitude that you keep around it that keeps you moving forward. So thank you, one and everybody. I would quickly like to share with you all the recognition. So let me just share my screen with you. Is my screen visible? Hi, sorry, is the screen visible? Yeah, okay. Sorry for this bit of a pigmentation issue. It looked right when I did on my mobile this morning. So, so let's just move into our the first thing that we would like to quickly recognize is I need to Toastmaster Surya Bijoy for taking the time out and coming to our meeting to be a general evaluator. This is a certificate of appreciation from us, and we truly appreciated all your feedback.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Moving on, we have a best speaker. All 3 speakers were wonderful, but there has to be one winner. And today's winner from all the 3 speakers was Toastmaster Sri Devi. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sri Devi. It's not a surprise. Everything that we know that Sri Devi tries to venture out on is with all her heart and soul. So congratulations to you. Moving on to evaluations. Again, 3 wonderful evaluations given in, right? But the audience had to choose one. And for today is Toastmaster Kimji. Kimji sir, very, very valuable inputs, very balanced thing. Everything's already been shared. But we really benefit from your experience. Okay. Last but not the least, table topics. I think everyone had, there was just these questions that came up at the last second, but everyone did a wonderful job in answering them. If we could give an award, we'd love to give it to every one of them. But if there's one person who stood out today, as per all our members, it was Toastmaster Kimji. Again, congratulations, Toastmaster Kimji. I think those inputs on living and existing was so valuable. So thank you very, very much. Just give me 1 second. So with this, I'll just try to keep my camera on for the last second and say goodbye. With this, we actually come to all the scheduled stuff for our meeting. Our next meeting is going to be 2 weeks from now. So that's going to be around the 16th. Is there anybody else? Sorry, from an announcement perspective, there's not much, except that we would love to have you guys on board again for our future meetings. And we do encourage you to encourage your friends and your family to join in, even as guests, so that we could learn from them and we could benefit from them.
I just have something to share.
Yes, Titi Amanita.
No, not in words, in a picture. Just a
Okay,
second.
please.
Is that visible?
Very much.
Okay, so these are the vivid expressions that I have seen and observed today, and it's fantastic catching them all. So I think I'm going to do this job exclusively from here on, because this is what I value and they are very precious to me. And I'm sure to all of us here. So that's just what I wanted to say. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Titi Amanita. She's also, now we have to congratulate her for more the role of being a candid photographer. Wonderful snapshots and a wonderful thing to put up as memory. Is there anybody else who would like to share anything, please? Okay. So if there are no more stuff, I would like to thank everyone. It was a lovely 68th meeting, a wonderful experience for me as a president to be a part of this meeting. And with the powers vested in me, I call this meeting to an end. Thank you very much. Try not to be finicky in life, guys. Have fun.
Thank you.